Hey everybody, it is your girl here, GenuinelyDivine, coming at you today with a video all about Lilith in Virgo. Lilith in Virgo. Lilith in Virgo, what is it all about? First of all, Virgo is the natural ruler of the 6th house. The 6th house is the house of our day-to-day routines. It is our hygiene, our work, in a sense, like our work ethic, I would say. You know, what we put into our bodies, like our diets and things of that nature as well. Lilith is our shallow self. It is the part of ourselves that we would like to keep hidden, you know, things that we like to do in the dark, you know, our sexuality. It deals with our allurement, how we, you know, what it is that we want to do with basically our mates, or what we want to do on our own. That's what Lilith represents in our birth charts. So when you take Lilith and you put it into the sign of Virgo, the house of health and routine, what happens here is you get a person who is very analytical, very critical of themselves. Lilith and Virgo people can be very ashamed of themselves. Like when it comes to the bed pleasures or bedroom scenes, Lilith and Virgos can always want to be covered up, or they always want the lights off, or they just don't want their bodies to be seen. And it doesn't matter how beautiful the body is to the person that they're with, their partner or their spouse. Lilith and Virgo is going to feel like they feel ashamed. It's not beautiful. Lilith and Virgo can also feel ashamed of people knowing that they you know, enjoy bed pleasures or whatever. They like to keep that part of themselves, you know, not necessarily secretive, but they don't like to talk about their bedroom situations with people. They will as time progresses, of course, but a lot of times they feel like that is just really private. That's just their private thing, and they don't want to discuss it with people, okay? They feel ashamed to discuss that, in a sense, right? So Lilith in Virgo, a lot of times, you know, or Lilith in the 6th house, you guys, they are just the type of people when it comes to their work environment. A lot of times they don't always get what they deserve. Sometimes it takes a long time to get what they truly deserve in their work environment, you know, to get noticed, to get recognized for their good work, because they are very detailed and they're pretty analytical when it comes to, you know, doing a good job. Another thing with Lilith and Virgo is when it comes to their health, sometimes they can just have these moments where they're just really good at you know, working out or eating right, but then they'll go off onto the deep end and they won't do it so well because Lilith is here. You know, it takes away that mainstream or that good energy, you know, or that continuous good energy from the native, okay? So Lilith and Virgo can sometimes, I'm sorry you guys, feel like my lash is coming off. So sometimes Lilith and Virgo type people, they can lose their way at some point in time on their journey, on their diet journey, on their work journey, whatever journey it is that they're headed towards. Sometimes they can lose their way, okay? Lilith in Virgo. Lilith and Virgos. Oh, another thing with these people are they can just be really they can be looking for perfection when they're looking for a mate or partner. Sometimes a guy or girl could do the smallest thing, like maybe birth or just natural, you know, bodily functions that kind of like occur on a date or situation. Lilith and Virgo can lose all interest in that person, especially young Lilith and Virgos. But I think over time, Lilith and Virgos, they learn to understand that we're all human and bodily functions will occur sometimes, you know, even in the most romantic times, because Lilith and Virgo is looking for perfection and it doesn't exist, you know. And they can be really dark when it comes to perfection. And it's definitely important for Lilith and Virgos when it comes to their bed pleasures, that a person is, I mean, you have to have really good hygiene. They don't want anything to mess up that moment, because a Lilith and Virgo, in the midst of getting your freak on, they will stop it if you do something that they're just not pleased with, because they are literally turned off completely, you know. Because again, this is just the energy that, you know, that they have and have to deal with. Now, when we talk about Lilith or any placement or any aspect in your birth chart, it is just to provide you with the knowledge of the energy in which you were born with. It doesn't mean that this is what you're going to do in your life. It doesn't mean that this is what you do in your life. It just means that if you can resonate with any of the energies that I'm speaking about, it just means that this is your opportunity to realize that you do have some of these energies, and that you need to work on it to become a better version of yourself. Astrology is not here to say, point fingers like, oh, you're this, you're bad, you're great, you're awesome. No. I mean, that happens, but that's not what it's made for. It is made to help you to heal and to really find your true purpose in life. It is not for you to comment down below, oh, I'm a Lilith in Virgo and I've never done that, because if you haven't, that means that that's an energy that you did not pick up from that placement in your birth chart. Thank God for it. Maybe you were raised a different way. Maybe you were taught a different way. Maybe your experience has been different than somebody else that has the same placement as you. And another thing is the aspects in your birth chart is different as well. Now, Lilith in Virgo, they are, you know, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, they can be great communicators. Like, a lot of times Lilith and Virgos, they communicate very well. They know how to communicate with people to get what they want from people. I wouldn't say that Lilith and Virgos are like users. They don't use people. A lot of times Lilith and Virgos are the ones who get used. If you have a Lilith and Virgo sitting at a table, and you have a Lilith in Aries sitting at the table, and somebody needs some type of help, they're gonna go to that Lilith and Virgo and ask them for some type of help. And then Lilith and Virgo is thinking to themselves like, why did they choose me? Why are you asking me? And it's like other people sitting at the table that does the same thing that I do, but yet they always come to me. That's because Lilith in Virgo are servants, you know, and Virgo, the sign itself, is a servant unto men, basically, right? So you take the darker, shallow side of Lilith or ourselves and put it into the sign of Virgo, what you're going to get is someone who's always being asked to help or to do something, even though other people are around. Lilith and Virgos can be in a store shopping or doing anything, and people are like, oh, can you do you know where I go get this from, or do you work here? I mean, Lilith and Virgos can probably get that quite often. Not saying that you will, but you could quite often get that because you are a servant. And people, for some odd reason, because that's the energy you carry, people don't look at your clothing and say, oh no, there's no way they work here. They're just looking. You just have that subservient type energy, and that's what they see, you know. Now, if I can be of any advice to Lilith and Virgos, if you are the type of person and you do exude these energies where you are shameful of your body, even though your spouse or your partner loves the way you look, let free, you know, let go, let loose, and just be free and enjoy the moment, because it's really difficult for you to truly enjoy your partner when you're always feeling ashamed and always worried about what's wrong and what could go wrong, you know. Don't allow that to take away that moment from you, a beautiful moment. If you're the type of person who's always being asked to help with something, realize that that's part of your purpose. Your purpose is to help and to be a person that guides other people. Be open to it. Don't look at it as a bad thing or that you're always being used, because in all actuality, we don't work for man, we work for spirit, and you will be rewarded. So don't run from it, embrace it, you know. Another thing, if you feel like you're always getting overlooked for promotions or jobs and things at work, or people don't really respect the work that you do, it's okay. Keep doing a good job and just know that God in due time will reward you with the job that you deserve to have, okay? And I really don't find Lilith and Virgo like a really bad placement. A lot of times I just feel like you guys can obsess a lot of times over your health, your hygiene, a lot of times too, but don't be so hard on yourself. Do what you know you need to do to stay healthy, but don't overwhelm yourself or burden yourself worrying about, oh, is this that way, is this that, you know? Just do the best you know how, okay? And with that being said, you guys, that is my take on Lilith and Virgo. Until the next time, I wish you so much love, peace, and wonderful blessings. Bye.
Yeah, he sets my body in motion. He just